face does glitter. It's been a really long time since I've said that. I moved, and so it's been a while since I've had a setup where I could actually record myself doing my makeup. I've mostly been doing my makeup in my bathroom, but I just finished setting up this little desk and I wanted to film a YouTube video. A lot has changed since I last posted a video beyond just moving, and I really don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself in this video to do a lot. I have some ideas for like some upcoming, you know, fall, Halloween inspired sort of editorial looks, but for right now I think I'm just gonna sit here and do my makeup. I actually did my makeup seriously yesterday. Like, I had a meeting with someone and I like did my makeup, and I wanted to like recreate the base that I did because it looked really nice. I went through a bit of skin troubles when I first moved. I think it's just like a different environment, but I went to an esthetician and I feel like I got that fixed. For the most part, my skin has been improving. I have experienced quite a lot of breakouts like along here and everything, but you know, for now it's fine. I'm gonna go in with the Tom Ford, I think it's called the Traceless Foundation Stick, and I have the shade 0.04, or sorry, 0.4 Rose. I'll wait for that siren to go by. I basically just pat it on like this. I got this foundation stick from the cosmetics company store, which is sort of like a wholesale kind of store for cosmetics, and I know a lot of people will say like, oh, you shouldn't get your cosmetics from there, they might be expired, but I've never had a problem with this particular foundation and I got it for like a steal. I'm gonna try blending that in with a Real Techniques 220 light layer complexion brush. It's kind of like sparse and stipply. I hope this works. Usually I like to blend this in with something a little bit more dense, but a lot of my makeup brushes are pretty dirty right now. I feel like I've been focused way more on like making sure my skin looks nice, especially like as I've gotten older. I feel like more and more I should just be like focusing on taking care of my skin and making sure that like that looks good. I feel like I've gotten like really bad dark circles and I'm starting to get like fine lines around my eyes, and even though I'm always kind of focused on keeping my skin clear because I have pretty acne prone skin, I also want to make sure that I'm not dehydrating it as much as I did like in my early 20s. So that's the Tom Ford Traceless Foundation Stick. It doesn't cover everything, but it makes like a nice even canvas, and I really love that. It is such a shame that it's so expensive because I probably won't ever purchase it again if I run out or if it expires. But on the other end of the spectrum, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, which is just like one of my favorite concealers. It's got good coverage, you can hardly see it on the face, and I have the shade, I think it's 110? No, this is just the shade 10, and it's a really good match for me. I'm actually gonna blend that in with a little eyeshadow brush to make sure it's like really blended and like with a light hand. And then I'll probably like press everything in with my fingers just to make sure that like everything looks blended, there's no seams. The other thing I guess I should mention is that I'm probably going to abandon my Instagram page. I find very little joy in making Instagram posts lately, partially because like I feel that a lot of people aren't seeing my posts, and partially because I feel that the platform, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people feel this way, is very focused on having people spend money, you know, selling things, which I'm sure is how, you know, they make money. My problem with that is I don't really want to encourage people to spend money. I don't want to be someone who encourages debt. You know what I mean? So I've kind of you know, become more of a Pinterest fan because I feel like they really only prioritize the search engine function of like images, and they put less emphasis on selling an actual product, which I prefer. I'm avoiding putting anything on my forehead because I have some texture and breakouts on my forehead, and I just kind of want to let that breathe, I say, as I'm putting my bangs over my forehead. I am gonna be styling my bangs later. They're a little too flippy for my liking right now, but it's okay. I've really been enjoying cheek products lately, so specifically blush. Also, just backtracking to what I was saying about like making money on Instagram and being focused on selling. It's just not for me. However, I just want to say, like, I hope I don't make anybody angry. If that's how you make money, that's how you make money. It's just not really my goal of being on Instagram. So in terms of bronzer, I've been really loving applying bronzer by putting it on the back of my hand and then taking a brush, like the Real Techniques multitask brush, and like just like putting it on the high points of my face. I think it adds a nice amount of color and dimension. My two favorites for doing that are the Phytosurgeon Skin Spark in Evaporate, which is sort of like, on me it's a blushy bronzer, but for some people this would just be a blush. And then the LYS bronzer stick in Harmony. This was sent to me in an Ipsy box a while ago, and it's just like, it's been so good. I just love it so much. I don't know, I think I want a little bit of warmth, and so I'm gonna go with the Evaporate one today. Also, I've used this stick on my channel tons of times, so if you're interested in that one, you can go back and find that in all my stuff. So what I do is I take a little bit on my finger and then I warm it up on the back of my hand. And these have a lot of pigment in them, so, you know, just bear that in mind if you're interested in getting them. I think they're really good products, and I would recommend them to anyone. So I just kind of build it up on the middle to back of the cheek, working like that. And it does look like a blush on camera today, but I'm gonna use a second blush as well. Fun thing that I'm doing lately is I'm getting back into art. I used to be an avid, like, hobby artist, I would say, and I'm getting back into it, and I've been really enjoying doing watercolors. And I love some of the watercolor techniques I've been learning, and I'm hoping to incorporate them a little bit into doing makeup. So this is the Kaja cheek stamp in the shade Saucy. My friend Stephanie gave this to me, and I've been really enjoying the color. I think it's like a nice mauve. And I'm gonna use the same Real Techniques brush to just blend that in lightly, but try to keep it to the places where I put it down. If you're not super into like the neon scary looking pinks, which I am, but if you're not, this might be a good alternative for you because you can kind of get that dolly Barbie look without using something that's so neon colored, because I think that can be intimidating for a lot of people. I'm also gonna just put it on top of my eyelids as well. I brought you all in a little bit closer because I'm gonna do my eyes and just like abandon the cheeks for a second. I'm gonna come back and do like highlighter and fake freckles, but I felt inspired by Lisa Eldridge's video where she was talking to her friend Helene, doing like a smoky eye, to kind of attempt a muted version of the smoky eye with quite a bit of sparkle, because, you know, I'm very into the sparkle. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of eye primer. I'm still using the one from Lovecraft Beauty. Starting to get a little concerned that it's getting old, but I'm not gonna worry about that too much for now because it hasn't really irritated my eyes at all. And then I'm gonna use Phytosurgeon's Potent Petal as a base, sort of like a MAC paint pot sort of base, because this has a nice sort of foiled metallic look to it, but it's very close to my skin tone, so it's not gonna look too apparent. It's also been a while since I've done anything other than eyeliner, to be honest. I'm gonna use this palette called Defiance from Carmella Cosmetics because it has, I think, some cooler tones. This looks particularly warm, but these are cooler over here. And I'm gonna try to build up like a little bit of a crease with the shade Mystique mixed with this one called Intuition, because I want it to be really light. It needs a little bit more depth. So I'm going to mix it with this one. It's pulling really red on the camera, but I don't think it's that red in person. This one called Empower. Now I'm gonna take these two shades and just push them into the lash line with this little teeny tiny brush. Now for the center of the eyelid, I'm going to use, this is the Bobbi Brown Luxe Eyeshadow Rich Sparkle in Moonstone, and you kind of can't see how glittery it is on camera, but it's just like really beautiful glitter, and I'm gonna keep it like right here in the center. I did want to use a little brush, so if you use a brush, the glitter is going to be less, you know, dense, less pow. And since I'm going to be wearing this out and hopefully to a little date night this evening, I want it to be less pow than usual, than I would usually go for. I think that looks very similar to what I saw Lisa Eldridge do on her friend, except, you know, this is a lot less red carpet friendly. For mascara, I'm going to use the Tarte Maneater Waterproof, and I just got this in an Ipsy box. It's okay, it's not my favorite, but I'm going to use the same, technique Lisa Eldridge used in that video and do the lower lashes first, although I'm going to kind of like push them together with my fingers a little bit so they look a little bit twiggy-like, and then I'm gonna do the top lashes. That's how that mascara looks. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna go back to the face and I'm gonna do a couple of fake freckles. I have one real freckle in the middle of my nose right now, and I would say it's making me happy, but it's just making me long for more freckles. So I'm gonna use the Revlon, what do you call it? Semi-permanent brow ink in Blonde, and I'm just gonna add a couple right here and right under my eyes. And then for my brows, I'm gonna use Les Brow eyebrow gel from Trust Fund Beauty. Another Ipsy box thing. This is just a clear brow gel. It's amazing how like a little bit of makeup can lift your mood. I was gonna put on some highlighter, but I think the natural highlight is looking pretty good today. And by natural, I mean probably from the foundation and a little bit of skincare. So not natural at all. I had lip balm on earlier, so my lips are in a pretty good condition to use this product, which is the CLE Melting Lip Powder. And I got the little sample pack of them. They are powders, but they kind of have that sort of like hydro powder feel. I don't know if you guys ever had like that. I think it was like a Revlon hydro powder. A couple of brands do like powders that feel watery when you put them on. Anyway, this is pretty similar, except it's specifically made for your lips. And that one's gotten, it was a little bit more than I bargained for right there. But basically I usually put on a little bit, then I spread it out with my finger. So that was the shade Desert Rose. I'm gonna use a little bit of the shade True Red as well. See, sometimes these like pull off, and I don't really love that. I don't know why that happens. I really want to like these, but I feel like they have their limits. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this lip. I think I want something a little bit more low maintenance, so I'm gonna take it off. Okay, no regrets, because it kind of left a nice like stain on my lips, a little bitten looking. But now I'm gonna use the, I think it's pronounced Facile Lip Jelly Tint in the shade Rouge. And you only really need a little bit of it. It's a pretty well pigmented, tinted lip balm. So, but for an autumn red lip, a lot more low maintenance than most. Also, it stays on a really long time. But I wanted to plug that the place where I got this is a local shop here in Cincinnati called Launch Party, and they have an online shop as well. So if you're interested in supporting a small business, I really like finding little stores like that, and like 0035mm, which is a shop in New York City. When I lived there, I happened upon that shop in particular, and I really liked it, and I still order a lot of my skincare from there because I like to support them. Anyway, this is the look. I'm pleased with it. I'm happy that I recorded a video. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you do, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you'd want to see in the next video. I hope you have a great day.